What's happening, my friends? It's Cast Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. Trump. Salute Trump. Mike Mazik. What's up, Mike? Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cast Sports, the Box Story. Today, the best boxers who never won a title. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Box Story, bringing you all that boxing history. Because boxing is the greatest sport of them all. And that's why we love it and cannot get enough of it. How's everyone doing? Wednesday afternoon, the hump day edition of Cast Sports, the Box Story. Yes, today we're going to talk about some of those fighters some good fighters that never won a title. You know? And when you hear some of the names, you'll be like, what? You know, you could have just sworn some of these guys had titles. I did, but yeah. Some pretty good boxers went through their career. You know, like a lot of those heavyweights back in the 70s, they just fought in the wrong heavyweight era, you know. The 70s, golden era. You know, Ali, Frazier, Foreman, Holmes, Norton, like Ron Lau, never got a title. No doubt, if they were fighting now with all these titles just being handed out nowadays, they would probably have 4 or 5 titles. It's like 16 in each division. You know, you see guys with prospects with 4 fights being interviewed after a fight with a belt on the shoulder. Now, where they do that at, right? So, yeah, you know, guys like Cooney and Shavers would definitely have titles nowadays. But they just fought in that era, man, you know. Didn't have a whole bunch of interims and champions in recess and the Intercontinental pink title. And we didn't have that nonsense back then, right? Had the WBA and the WBC. That was it, okay? And the sport wasn't as watered down then, you know. Champions were champions. But, you know, we're going to talk about some of the guys that didn't get titles today. But how is everybody? Hope everybody's day is going good. Let's talk fashion in the building. What's up, Remo? Hashtag JBT. Yeah, today is Wednesday. Another fire. Let's talk fashion came out today. 10 a.m. this morning. And now he's in the building. What's up, Remo? Joe in the building. Got a good one today. Well, every day is a good one. But today is an extra good one. You know, we're going to look at some of these guys that some of them we thought had titles, but nope. No titles. Got Virgil Ortiz coming up this weekend. Boxing is looking good. And yes, we can safely say now, 2024 is going to be better than 2023. Already has been, you know. Let's just look at the card we just had last weekend, that Big August 3rd card, and it didn't disappoint. Bruce Gas Boxing, Jazz, and more in the building. What's up, Bruce Gas? Good to see you today, my brother. Always good to see Bruce Gas in the building. Salute. Yep. We're going to talk about some of those guys, man. I was thinking that Emmanuel Augustus but he had a couple minor titles or something, so he didn't make the list because he had a title, you know. But like I was saying yesterday, Emmanuel Augustus holds the record for being robbed. But he I guess he kind of turned the judges off with that dancing and all the antics he did in there. But Floyd did say at one time that Emmanuel Augustus was his toughest opponent. But that was still during his career. I don't know if when he ended, if Emmanuel was still his toughest opponent, but he did say that at one point. Emmanuel just didn't know whether he wanted to be a boxer or a dancer, but a good fighter. But Donovan Razor Ruddock, he didn't win a title. Andrew Galata, guys like that. Sam Langford. Sam Langford is thought of as the best. He had the colored championship, I think he might have fought for a major title once. Yeah, back in the teens, 1910 through 1919, back in that era, yeah. But he never had a title. And a great fighter, Sam, just in the wrong era, Yep. But some pretty good ones on here. We're going to talk about it today. We got that killer, Abdullah Mason, coming up on the 17th. I think he's on the undercard of Christian Umbilly and Sergey Derevyanchenko. I got that right. Derevyanchenko, I think. I heard it said so many times, because man, if I never heard it said, I couldn't imagine how I would pronounce that. I wouldn't even do it. That's one of the ones I would just write in the chat and let y'all pronounce it. But yeah, Christian and Billy going up against him on the 17th. Abdullah Mason on that card. Virgil in there this week. Virgil got 100% knockout rate. But Virgil's 100% knockout rate was a little different than Berlanga's was when Berlanga was getting everybody out there. Because Berlanga was getting everybody out in the first round. So, he wasn't developing or anything. But Virgil was getting them out of there, but he was going up in fight stuff, just like Beterbiev. They was getting some rounds and stuff in and getting better. But, Berlanga was just getting everybody up out of there in the first round. And then once he had to go up into some fights, he looked like shit. Yeah. But Virgil has a 100% knockout rate. He's in there this weekend. Yeah, I like Virgil. Virgil has that pressure, But Virgil has that educated pressure, Yeah. Great fighter. I wanted to see him and Bud, They fight a week apart, They lined up to be each other's next opponent. Turkey Ali Sheik said he wants it. Melanin Queen 27 in the building. What's up, Melanin Queen? Melanin Queen is in here early today. They cutting grass out there with that noise in the background. Wednesday is the day. They didn't have to come right at 2 o'clock. But it's all good. Still gonna get it in. Right in the middle of a week of boxing history. Tomorrow, the Boxing in the States series continues with Georgia. Sugar Ray Robinson was born in Georgia. I don't think he's lived there too long, because I think New York and Detroit, where he was living the majority of the time when his boxing career played out. But he was born in Alley, Georgia. Yep, Sugar Ray Robinson. So yeah, he might get talked about tomorrow when we get to the portion boxers from Georgia. Like I might talk about Sugar Ray when I do Georgia, then when I do New York again, then when I do Michigan. Sugar Ray might be in the profile for all 3 states. He was just that good. And Friday, this week's profile is Ike Williams, the life and career of Ike Williams. Yeah, Ike was kind of held back by the mafia. He fought around the time where the mafia was running it. Like I've been telling you all week, the mafia controlled who got title fights, and they controlled who won them. And Ike wouldn't buckle under to their pressure, so they kind of held his career back. He didn't pan out to be what he could have been with the talent he had, But we're going to talk about it Friday. Ike Williams. He had a nice series going with 2 other fighters, Bo Jack and Bob Montgomery. Not Bo Mack, Bo Jack. like old fights, any combination of those three, Ike Williams, Bob Montgomery, and Bojack, they fought each other a number of times. Around the 40s, I think it was lightweight. Yeah. Oh my goodness, now they're right up to the window. Gonna have to, nah, I can say that. They're not gonna be there but a minute. It ain't but so big out there. Okay. But yeah, Mrs. Just Do. What's up, Mrs. Just Do? How are you today? Pardon me, I didn't even see Mrs. Just Do come in here. I'm gonna get fired. Miss Cass got on me about missing super chats and boxing royalty like Mrs. Just Do. Come in the building. I'm missing them kind of people. Can't do that. But salute Mrs. Just Do. Peace and blessings to the entire Just Do family. They got the youngest member of the JBT, Baby Do. Yeah. Salute Mrs. Just Do. Just Do boxing will be in here. I mean, he probably listening. Probably getting ready for 4 o'clock. The Voice take over these JBT airwaves right after me. That's what I'm warming you up for. We're going to get started in about 5 or 10 minutes. They got to move away. I can't hear my music. The music stopped. I have to stop. But yeah, we got a good one. Boxers. The best boxers who never won a title. I got part of the title hidden. Sometimes I got to leave my name off when it's doing that. But it's all good. But how's everybody doing? It's hump day. We're in the middle of the week. Headed downhill toward another weekend. This time just goes by so fast. It's crazy. It really is. But part of that fire JBT network. It's people that love to talk boxing. Fashion. We got a fashion show too this morning. Drop every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Dropped another one this morning. That's from Remo. He's in the building. Just boxing talk. And then at the end, since we're talking about the best boxers who never won a title, at the end I'm going to talk about the boxers who's won the most titles. Like Manny, 8 weight divisions. Oscar got 6. And Sugar Ray and Hearns has 5. Floyd has 5, I believe. Well, we're going to talk about those guys at the end after we get finished talking about the best boxers who didn't win a title. I'm going to cover the boxers with the most titles, most divisions. Yeah, Manny has 8. But that's in jeopardy because Amanda Serrano has 7, and she's still active. Remember, we talked about women's boxing yesterday. So yeah, Amanda has 7. 2 more. She's in front. Jimmy Young. Yeah, Jimmy Young. Yep, Joe. Yeah, Jimmy didn't get one. Nope. Heavyweight. Back in that, like I was talking about, Shavers and Cooney, back in the 70s. But Jimmy would have one if he fought nowadays, no doubt. All these titles they got nowadays, Jimmy would probably have like 7 or 8, They got like 16 in every division with the interims and the supers and the regulars and all that kind of stuff. It's just too many. But back then it was just WBA and WBC. We didn't have an IBF or WBO. The other 2 majors hadn't come around yet, So it wasn't watered down like nowadays. You definitely didn't have somebody standing in the ring after winning their 4th fight with the title draped over their shoulders like you do nowadays. Yeah, you've seen it. A guy just won his 4th fight and got a belt draped over his shoulder. Come on, man. How is that possible? You don't even have double-digit fights, but you got walking out of the ring with a belt. But you got that belt, somebody's hand is digging in your bag, getting those feeds. So yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah, but it waters the sport down. I mean, only one person can be the champion. You can't have no 4 or 5 champions in one division. But I guess you can because we have it nowadays. But it's not good. Not good for the sport at all. Then you got all these divisions with the belts all spread out, and the fighters seem like they're not even interested in unifying them. They're just happy to share the championship. Back in the old days, man, guys, no, they didn't play that. The WBA and the WBC, and if somebody had the WBC and somebody else come in with the WBA, you got to fight. I'm the champion. But now, fighters call each other out and they just ignore each other. Call each other out of their names and they just ignore it. It's just crazy. But we still love it. Can't get enough of it. Yeah. And what time you get off Melon the Queen? 5 o'clock. You're almost there. We're gonna get you there. I'm gonna take you up to 4. And an hour into Just Do show, you out of there. The JBT, we're gonna take you right up to 5 o'clock and pass it. Okay. You are good now. Leonard versus Lalonde was the start of that rubbish with belts. Yeah, Joe. They don't know what they started. Yeah, Jimmy Young, no doubt nowadays though would have a title. Probably be undisputed in this era. So we get ready to get kicked off. We got Lonnie Lee coming. Al Booker will probably stop by. Lonnie gets off at 2:30. That's why I usually stall around until then, because he's here every day, and it wouldn't be right to start at 2 and have him miss so much of the show. Unless he contributes to the grind all the time. Gave me a super chat. That's how I almost got fired last week. Gave me a super chat and I missed it. Just Do even came in the comments and said you got a super chat, Cass, and I still missed it. And then the next day, BN Boxing News sent me one, and I missed that. And Miss Cash said, one more, you're out of here. Mm-hmm. So I've been straightening it up the last few days. But don't we have Pro Box tonight? It's Wednesday. I know a couple weeks they had it on Friday. But somebody was telling me yesterday that it's tonight. I usually have a little preview on that, but we just gonna go right on into the boxes without titles nowadays. Yeah, and I'll mention Jimmy Young too, because yeah, he was a good one. Never got a title. Jimmy Ellis, I think he had, and he had, I believe he had the WBA. Jimmy Ellis is the one that shared trainers. I always get him and Jimmy Young mixed up, but I think it's Jimmy Ellis that shared Angelo Dundee with Ali as trainer. And they both, when they fought, Angelo elected to be in Jimmy Ellis's corner. So Ali had that one fight without Angelo because, I don't know about now, but then Angelo was Ali's trainer, but he was Jimmy Ellis's trainer and manager. And the manager got a bigger percentage of the boxer's bag at that point. So, of course, Angelo said, I'm going to train Jimmy for this fight because I'm making the most money off of Jimmy. And I forgot who Ali had. But by the time me and Osh, who does that show on Ali, I'll look that up. But yeah, Ali did one fight. Well, Angelo went back after that fight. But yeah, Ali had one fight without Angelo when he fought Jimmy Ellis. Angelo was in Jimmy Ellis's corner. Yeah. Because, as manager, he made more money off of Jimmy than he did Muhammad. So yeah, can't blame him really. But let's get ready to start today's show. Best boxers who never won a title. And I got a lot of guys from back. I got some guys from now, the modern era, and I got some guys from back in the old days, 20s, 30s. There was quite a few guys, good fighters back then that didn't win titles. Like Sam Langford, a couple of those Murderers Row guys, Charlie Burley, Jack Chase, they were avoided heavily. Sugar Ray Robinson avoided Charlie Burley, and Those guys didn't get a chance to fight for title fights. They were worthy of titles, but the top boxers just wouldn't fight them because they wanted to keep their titles. And the Murderous Road guys had to fight each other a lot just to get fights. So I got some of those guys on the list too. So yeah, cover all boxing. And when I've been doing the profile, I've been trying to jump back and forth. I'll do a couple from, back in the 20s, 30s, or 40s, and I'll jump ahead and do a couple from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Like I did Miguel Cotto last week. So this week is Ike Williams back to the 40s. Got to cover all eras, Yeah. This is boxing history. And I'm Cass Sports the Box historian, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Anybody not subscribed, subscribe. Support the grind. Mike Grimm in the building. What's up, Mike? How are you today? Best boxers who never had won a championship. So let's go with today's show. And then after I finish this, I'm gonna go into the boxers with the most titles, most divisions. Like Manny's got 8. Al Booger. I told you Al Booger was coming. What's up, Al Booger? How are you today? Oh, that's right. Today's show is brought to you by Al Booger, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Wednesday's show is always a suggestion from the chat. And yeah, Al Booker gave me this show. Gave it to me Monday. Yeah. Take all suggestions in the chat, and they are done on Wednesdays. Today's show is brought to you by Al Booger. And there he is. Yeah, I knew he was coming through. Lonnie Lee will be here in a couple minutes. Yep. And then the punch of the week next week is the Gazelle punch. Got that from Al Booger too. Yeah. Al Booger was in attendance at that big August 3rd card. Me and T Hill was talking the other day about what if Al Booger would have been the one that won that card. That would have really been something. Yeah. Al Booger, I hope you was sitting closer to that guy that did win it. He was past the back. He looked like he came from the same place where the boxers were doing their ring walks from. I was thinking, does he want the car? He took forever to get up there. Yeah. But yeah, Al Booger was in attendance. He might not be back. Well, he could have drove back from out there by now in his new car. Okay, well, let's get ready to go. How's everybody doing on this salute Al Booger Hump Day Wednesday? Hump Day edition of Cass Sports the Box Story. Appreciate everybody that's in the building. Like and subscribe. If you don't like it, hit the down thumb. Just hit something. Either one of them. Okay. If you don't like it, hit the down thumb. I ain't gonna be mad. Right. Just try to tighten up next time. That's all. Okay. The best boxers who never won a title. Okay. This chat so I can keep my job. Miss Cass is a strict boss. You out there listening? Mm-hmm. If I miss somebody, she ain't gonna miss him. She gonna let me know. Mm-hmm. When I missed the super chat, she came and told me after the show. I said, "Why didn't you tell me during the show?" Just you told me. I still missed it, so probably wouldn't have made a difference. Okay. Lonnie Lee in here yet? Nope. He'll be here in a couple of minutes. That's right. And yeah, appreciate you, Melon Queen 27. Yeah, like I always say, Melon Queen 27 is the definition of moderate. Okay. But now, when it comes to the world of combat sports, right, the cream generally rises to the top. Now, stars such as Terrence Crawford, Clarissa Shields, Katie Taylor, Naoya Inoue, Olasanda Usyk, all became undisputed champions of not just one, but several weight classes. And the great Manny Pacquiao became a champion in a staggering 8 divisions in his career. Remember? 8 divisions. And we're going to talk about that at the end of boxing with the most divisions, okay? But for most of boxing history, world title belts didn't grow on trees. You know how they say, don't grow on trees. Belts didn't grow on trees like they seem to do nowadays, okay? And title shots used to be a rare and much sought after commodity, right? Competition was fiercer back in the day, and to be a top contender was a major accomplishment, let alone fighting for a world title, and let alone winning one was rare and a remarkable thing. But times have changed, and now belts of various stripes abound to the point where few of them carry much genuine value nowadays. You know, just to keep it 100. I'd be like I was just saying, there's so many of them. You know what I mean? Now, all that being said, not every great boxer will become a champion for various reasons. And over the long history of the sport of boxing, there's been some excellent fighters who never got their hands on a world title. Now, without a doubt, most of the fighters that we discuss today, especially those guys from the old days, if they were competing today in the current era, they would have a couple of straps, okay? Especially with the ridiculous amount of titles that are available nowadays. And more than a few people on this list were both unjustly denied title shots, or if they did get a title fight, they were robbed of the win they had earned. Now, racism in boxing hindered legendary fighters like Sam Langford from competing for titles, you know. They didn't even let him fight for a title, despite his immense talent, okay? And Sam Langford is often considered by boxing fans to be the greatest boxer to never win a world title. Now, he did win the World Colored Heavyweight Championship during his career, right? And in a non-title fight, he defeated Joe Gans, who was a champion at that time, but it was a non-title fight. Joe Gans was the first African-American world champion in boxing history, okay? And in 2020, the WBC named Langford an honorary world champion. Now, I can see that giving Langford a belt, but why did they give a Turkey Alley Sheik a belt? What was that all about, man? They was kissing his butt big time Saturday, man. That was crazy. But they gave Sam Langford an honorary belt in 2020, and there's Lonnie Lee. Told you Lonnie Lee was coming, and he didn't miss but like a minute of the show. Salute, Lonnie. The best boxers who never won a world title today. Welcome aboard. Yep, that's why I wait until 2:30. Big time supporters like Lonnie Lee, and he's in the building. I'm happy now. And where was I? Yeah, the WBC did give Sam an honorary belt in 2020. That was nice of him. But the man passed away years like a century ago, so. But anyway. And now let's get into the list. Okay. Enough of that. Lonnie Lee's here now. Let's get into the list. I can stop stalling. Okay. Get to my slide display. I hope it stays in order. Okay. The first boxer we're going to talk like that. That was Sugar Ray and Gene Fullmer. Old fight. My bad. But the first box is going to be Lucas Matisse. There he is. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna. I didn't understand that. Why the hell he deserve a belt for? You know, they all kissing the ring. Like he a king, and then he loving it. You had them people over there in Saudi Arabia. Is he eating that up? That's how he carried it. He almost telling the fighters, if trying to get it, like, if you don't deal with me, you ain't getting no big fight. Yeah. People like Mauricio playing right into it. Mauricio ain't shit no way though. He's bad for boxing. But let's talk about these fighters. Lucas Matisse is first. Okay. Now Lucas Matisse was just the level below his peers, right? And called himself the Machine. The Machine had several title shots in his career. He did get some title shots, but he never won. Okay. Yeah, you're 100% right, Joe. Me and T Hill was talking about that yesterday, man. Now that's bad for boxing. Now he's giving us some good fights and stuff, but he's not a king. Okay? To be a king over in Saudi Arabia, when he come over here, we don't have no kings and stuff in the United States. Okay. Yeah, but Matisse never won a title, but he did have several title shots. Just never won it. Okay. Now, it really doesn't feel like Lucas Matisse should be on this list, as he was generally considered one of the best junior welterweights, for about a decade during his era. Like I told you, you would be like, that guy didn't have a title. Matisse was one of the ones that I was shocked when I, found that out, that he never won a title. Yeah, because he was at the top of his game, back when he was fighting. But he never held an outright world title. Now, Matisse did have a great career, and he had title fights with the likes of Manny Pacquiao, Zab Judah, Danny Garcia, and a few more. And Matisse finished his career with a record of 39 wins, 5 losses. Excuse me for a minute. 36 knockouts. Okay, had a great knockout rate. I had to retrieve my calculator. People that's here regular know how I am about knockout rates. 39 wins, 36 knockouts. That's not bad at all. That's 92%. Okay, never had a title. He had 44 fights, a 92% knockout rate, and never had a title. That's crazy, isn't it? Wow. Okay, next is Donovan Razor Ruddock. Another one, Razor never had a title. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Al Booger. Talk about Matisse, right? Yeah, I thought he had one too up until this morning. Yep. Razor Ruddock makes the list. Okay. Now, Razor was one of the best of the 90s. And he had a 2-fight series with Mike Tyson. Okay. He's another name that just feels like he shouldn't be on this list, man. But yeah, he fits the bill. But yes, Razor is known for his feuds with the likes of Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis, right? But he never held a world title in his career. Now, he won several regional titles in his career, and he defeated former champions like Michael Dokes, but Razor never won the gold. And guess what? Razor Ruddock, now I did not know this, Razor Ruddock never even had a crack at an actual world title during his career. Nope. But he finished with a 41 draw, 30 knockouts. Okay. That's not quite as good as Matisse. That's unbelievable though, man. He said 45 fights, 92% knockout rate, never won a title. Yep, Razor Ruddock also makes the list. Next, gentleman jury. Gentleman Jerry Cooney. Is that Gentleman Jerry? Yeah. There he is. I hit the wrong thing. That's Gentleman Jerry on the left, see him? Fighting Larry Holmes. You know he didn't get a title in that one. Joe says Holyfield duck racer. So that would have been his title, huh, Joe? Yeah. I did not know that, man, until this morning. The Razor never even fought for a title, man. That's crazy, ain't it? Razor Ruddock. But everybody in here that followed boxing in the 90s thought Razor Ruddock at least was in a title fight. I still don't believe that, but hey, it's true. Gentleman Jerry Cooney never had a title. Now, he fought back in the 70s, during that golden era of heavyweights, man. And in the 80s. 80s was really, when he had his title shots. He had two. Now, Jerry Cooney was part of some massive heavyweight fights during his career, right? And Jerry came up short in two title fights. He had two of them. That's one of them right there with Larry Holmes, right? Now, the 80s wasn't exactly the deepest era of heavyweights boxing, because that was right after the golden era with Ali, Frazier, Norton, all those guys was getting out. Foreman had took his break. Foreman came back in the later 80s. So the 80s wasn't exactly the deepest era of heavyweights. And Jerry Cooney became one of the division. That was when Jerry Cooney, he became one of the division stars in the 80s. Now, he did pick up some impressive wins, though, in the early part of his run. He demolished Ken. Well, Ken was aging then. He demolished Ken Norton and Ron Lyle. And Jerry had a lot of power and a great heart. But he wasn't great at the highest level of the sport. And that's reflected in all three of his career losses: Larry Holmes, Michael Spinks, and George Foreman. Yeah, George just, I think George got him with an uppercut and looked like a right cross, man. Jerry was done. But Jerry only had 31 fights. He had a record of 28 wins, 3 losses, 24 knockouts. That's not a bad break either. 28 wins, 24 knockouts. I'm gonna leave these knockout rates alone. Jerry had 85%. Not bad. Okay. So yeah, Jerry Cooney makes the list. Next is one of the great heavyweights. Ernie Shavers. There's Ernie and Ali. Yep. Ernie never had a title. No doubt, if Ernie fought now, he would probably be undisputed. Bruce says Jerry was hooked on booze and coke from the day he beat Norton until he fought Foreman. Wow. Thank you, Bruce Gass. Yeah. And Al Booger, you talking about that one Foreman got Cooney with, right? That was devastating, man. Yeah. Get caught by Big George like that, man. You don't have anywhere to go but out. Yeah. Uppercut and that cross. And Jerry was right there for it. Because Jerry gonna press you. Jerry gonna be right there in your face. Ernie Shavers. Okay. Now Ernie was one of the hardest punchers ever, in boxing history. And he had 2 title shots, okay? And he's considered to be one of the hardest punchers in boxing history, for good reason too. Called himself the Black Destroyer. Ernie had 70 knockouts in 76 fights. And they keep coming with all these good knockout rates. Distracting. That's 92% again. 70 knockouts in 76 fights. Yeah. And that's staggering, man. Yeah. But he came up short in his 2 title opportunities. One against Muhammad Ali. That's the one he's in right there. and his other one was against Larry Holmes. But Shea was dropped both of them, showcasing his incredible power, but he just didn't get the nod. And he finished his career. He had 91 fights. He won 76, lost 14, had one draw, and 70, like I said, 70 came by way of knockout. 92% knockout rate. Yep. 92% knockout rate. Not bad at all. Okay. Next is Andrew Galata. There he is. Andrew Galata. Now, Andrew, he should have been heavyweight champion, but he just couldn't get out of his own way, Andrew. It feels crazy that Andrew was never world champion. He was Polish, and he got a lot of title shots, right? And he was one of the best heavyweights for a long time, during his career. But like I said, he just couldn't get out of his own way. He got title shots against John Ruiz, Lamont Brewster, Chris Bird, and Lennox Lewis, right? And he did not win a single one of those fights. Yep. Lost all of them, Andrew did, man. I mean, every time he fought Riddick Bowe, he couldn't help but hit him low, Yeah. Yeah, Bruce says he got destroyed by Lennox. Yeah, he sure did, Bruce. But at the end of his career, he had 41 wins, 9 losses, 1 draw, 1 no contest. That was one of them against Riddick, I believe. And he had 33 knockouts. Andrew did, okay? That's 80%. 80% knockout rate for Andrew. Yeah, but he never got a title. But he was in a lot of title fights. Andrew just never got the job done. Yeah. Carl Graham is next. And I'm going to be going back a ways too, like 20s, 30s, But it's still interesting, yeah. There's some good fighters back then too now. That's my favorite era back, like 20s to 40s. But Harold Graham, he never got a title. But Harold was a scorecard away from becoming a champion, right? And he had 3 title shots in his career. Called himself the Bomber. And he's considered the greatest British fighter to never become champion. He won several regional titles, and he had several cracks at world championships. And in 1989, he came extremely close to becoming champion. Okay, he was just a scorecard away from beating WBC middleweight champion Julian Jackson. November 1989, came up short, but he still was a phenomenal talent, Harold Graham. Okay, and he ended his career with a record of 48 wins, 6 losses, 28 knockouts. Harold Graham. Okay. All right. Joe says Shaver was asked about Tommy Morrison during his 90s comeback. And Shaver said, "Great white hope. His only hope is that he don't beat me." Yeah, I remember that, Joe. Yeah, when Shaver said that. Yeah, but yeah, Harold Graham came close to beating Julian Jackson in '89, but Julian got came up 1 scorecard short. But he won 48 fights, lost 6. He had 28 knockouts. Harold Graham, considered the greatest British fighter to never win a title. Okay. I don't know who that is. David Tua. David Tua makes the list. Yeah, David never won a title. Nope, he sure didn't. And David was a killer in the ring, right? Had insane power. And he's another boxer, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, I thought he had won a title too, but he didn't. Samoan boxer. and he was coming up in the 90s. He fought some absolute killers, right? In 2000, he had a great win streak and momentum behind him, and that was enough to earn a title shot. Unfortunately, he ran into Lennox Lewis, and Lewis dominated him. You know, Tua was much smaller, and Lewis won by unanimous decision. And guess what? That was Tua's one and only title shot, that fight against Lennox Lewis. Only title shot. Yep. And he finished his career with 52 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws, 43 knockouts. David Tua. Yeah, Shavers was strong. Heavy hitter. Now, anybody know anything about the 70s? You know he had to make the list. Jerry Corey. Jerry had a phenomenal resume, fought all those heavyweights in the golden era. But, you know, Jerry would have a title nowadays. I seriously think so. But, you know, he just fought in that era. Just like Cooney. And Cooney came along a little way, right around that time. But just like Cooney, Shavers, Jimmy Young, Lau, just fought in the wrong era. But he had a fire resume. Jerry Corey. He fought in an absolutely stacked era and fought many legends, had a fire resume. And he really should have been a champion at some point. Unfortunately, though, he had the misfortune of fighting in the absolutely stacked 70s era of heavyweight boxing. He fought Muhammad Ali not once, but twice. He also fought Joe Frazier. And he beat some good fighters, too. He beat late Floyd Patterson. But despite all that, he never got a world title. He had some title shots, though, but he never got over the hump. Finished his career with 66 fights altogether. He won 53, lost 9, had 4 draws, and he won 32 by knockout. James, I missed you yesterday, James Brody. Yeah. Ann Wolf made, when we talked about women's boxing, yeah, I talked about Ann for you. I remember you mentioned Ann Monday. Yeah. But yeah, we covered her yesterday. But today we're talking about the best boxers that didn't win championships. Okay, but salute, James. Good to have you back again. Only man to drop Tua was Monty Barrett. Okay, Joe. Yeah. Okay. Now where were we? Jerry Corey. Yeah, Jerry never got a title. Joe didn't. Ruben Castile never had a title. Mexican-American boxer. Now, he fought down at featherweight and super featherweight, and he was a good boxer, good fighter down there, right? Now, he got 4 title shots in his career, but he did face some stiff competition, right? He faced Hall of Famers, Salvador Sanchez, Alexis Arguello, okay? Julio Cesar Chavez, Juan Laporte, okay? He faced some absolute killers, man. So, yeah, never got that title. But none of them never dominated him. He was in all the fights, right? Showed how talented he was. He's just another one. Wrong era, wrong place, wrong time. But he had 79 fights in his career. He won 67, lost 10, had 2 draws, had 35 knockouts. Yep. Ruben Castile. Sam Langford. I started to make Sam the thumbnail because he, yeah. Sam never got a title shot. He had the colored heavyweight championship. I think he fought Jack Johnson I don't think he ever fought him for the regular heavyweight. I think he fought Jack for the colored championship. Yeah. Rockman. I'm not sure about that. Oh, there it is. Joe said it was Monty Bird, James. Yeah. Yeah, Sam Langford. Now, Sam is considered the greatest fighter to never win a title, okay? And the greatest fighter you don't know. Called himself the Boston Terrier. He was held back exclusively due to his race. He fought back in that era, you know. He's considered one of the greatest fighters ever. And a lot of many boxing fans don't even know his name, right? He competed from lightweight all the way up to heavyweight, okay? Never weighed over 185. He was 5 feet 7 inches tall, and his biggest weight was 185, okay? Fighting heavyweights like Jack Johnson. He was explosive for his era, but due to racism in boxing around that era, he couldn't fight for titles. Like he did win the colored title in 1917, but that was it for him. Legendary Sam Langford, okay? And this man had, I gotta add up how many fights he had. He won 178. He lost 30. He had 38 draws. Now, a lot of those were really wins, you know, just that era. For a total of 246 fights. And get this, he had 126 knockouts. Never fought for a world title. Shameful, man. But a great legendary fighter. And about the best fighter ever to never fight for a title, Sam Langford. Yep. And of course, like Joe said, Jimmy Young. Jimmy Young never got the opportunity to fight for a title. He's great, like Joe said, the great legendary Jimmy Young. Okay? I always get him and Jimmy Ellis mixed up with each other all the time. But he fought back in the golden era, you know? Wrong place, wrong time. It's like a couple people on this list. Yep. Wrong place, wrong time. Fought all the great ones. Jimmy did. He was known for his awkward defensive style and counterpunching. One of the top contenders of the 1970s, okay? He beat George Foreman in 1977 and lost a controversial unanimous decision to Muhammad Ali, right? And outpointed Ron Lyle twice. And he was going for the #1 contender's position against Ken Norton and lost on a split decision. That was in 1977. That's when Leon Spinks, the Muhammad Ali situation came up in 78, and then the WBC stripped Spinks because Spinks, the WBC wanted Spinks to fight the winner of that fight with Jimmy Young, but Norton, Spinks fought Ali again. The WBC stripped him and gave it to Norton. And if Jimmy Young could have won that split decision, he would have had the title because WBC would have stripped Spinks, would have gave it to Jimmy Young. Yep. That's how close he came to it, Joe. But close only counts in horseshoes. But Jimmy Young, he won 35. He lost 18. He had 3 draws. And he had 11 knockouts. Like Joe said, the legendary Jimmy Young. Sorry, no picture. I had to ad-lib that, Joe. Jimmy Young wasn't even on the list. But I got him on there. Yeah. I looked him up right quick. Slid Jimmy Young right on in there. Thank you, dude, because he sure wasn't on it at first. Okay. Okay, who's next? Wesley Ramey. We go back a little ways. Wesley Ramey. Now, yeah. Wesley, he was a clever boxer and a legit all-time great lightweight with wins over the likes of Eddie Cool, the Coco Kid, Benny Bass, Tony Canzonieri, Johnny Jadick, and Lou Jenkins. Okay, now he had only 11 knockouts in his. I mean, he had 141 career wins with only 11 knockouts. Okay. That is fascinating. Wow, 11 knockouts. That's less than 1%. 141 wins. That's like 0.7% knockout rate. Wow. Did you hear that? 11 knockouts and 141 wins. That's less than 1% knockout rate. Wow. But people speculate if his lack of power made him a poor draw and it shut him out of some championship contention. In any case, the fact that he never got a chance to fight for the title is an injustice, okay? Because he was a very good fighter. He's one of the ones that never got a title shot, okay? He had like almost 200 fights, only 14 draws, 11 knockouts, okay? Wesley Raymond, what back in the old days. Jim Driscoll. That's Jim on the left. Yeah, that's Jim on the left. Jim Driscoll. Okay. Appreciate you 1,000%. Melanie Queen 27. Oh, Joe, you clapping because I slid Jimmy Young in there? Yeah, Jim Driscoll. Now, despite victories over world champions George Dixon and Abe Attell, two of the big names back in the early 1900s, and highly competitive battles with Freddie Welsh and Owen Moran, Driscoll himself never fought for a world title. But that didn't stop many from regarding him as one of the ring's most creative, clever, and elusive fighters. And some people consider him one of the greatest fighters ever, okay? He had a total of 60 fights. He won 56, lost 4, had 7 draws, and 37 knockouts. Jim Driscoll. Okay. Harry Wills. There's Harry. Fought back around the 1920s. Jack Dempsey ducked him for a little while, so you know he had to be nice. And for a time in the 1920s, Harry Wills was the best heavyweight in the world. And there was talk of a big showdown with official heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey, but it never came to be, right? Jack ducked him. Even so, Wills holds wins over a host of top talents, including Louis Firpo, Bill Tate, Kid Norfolk, Sam Langford, Billy Miss, Sam McVeigh, Battling Sickey, and Joe Jeanette. Those are some huge names from back in the 20s in the heavyweight division. Okay? And Harry won 70 fights, lost 9, had 3 draws, 56 knockouts. Harry Wills. Jack Blackburn. After his career, he used to train Joe Louis. Jack Blackburn did. Okay. Jack Blackburn called himself Chappie. He never got the big one either, but he faced a long list of all-time greats. And he has the distinction of having given tough battles to 3 true legends: Sam Langford, Harry Grebe, and Joe Gans, okay? And Jack claimed to have over 400 fights in his career, okay? And I couldn't find a record for Jack Blackburn, but he claimed that he fought 400 times. I'm gonna check one more time. Yeah, 400 fights, never won a title. That's crazy. 400 fights and never won a title. Wow. Jack Blackburn. And like I said, he trained Joe Louis. Mm-hmm. I don't know about that 400 fights though. Let me see. Bear with me for 1 second. Jack Blackburn. Oh, here it is. But they only got pimped down for like 58, 49 and 12. 12 draws, 34 knockouts. What's that? 48, like 60. But he claimed that he fought 400 fights. Maybe he was including the amateurs and stuff. I don't know. Yeah. Mike Gibbons. There's Mike. These are some old school fighters too. Mike Gibbons. Still interesting. Now he's the smaller of the Gibbons brothers, right? I think his brother's name was Tommy. He was too good for his own good, right? And he never got a title shot at the middleweight division. You know, they ducked him. Now he fought the likes of Jeff Smith, Ted Kid Lewis, Packy McFarlane, Michael Dow, and Harry Greaves, but he never. They were all non-title fights, and they had a record of 65 wins, just 3 losses, 4 draws, 38 knockouts, but never got a title shot. Okay, Mike Gibbons. That's Mike on the left. Nope. That's a sign of how good he was. The champions, they would fight him, but they would make it non-title fights when they fought him. Okay, Willie Joyce. That's Willie on the left. Willie Joyce. Now, Willie was tough, he was smart, and he had a wicked left jab. But he had the bad luck to compete in the same era as some of the best lightweights in boxing history. You know, he fought around the 40s with Bo Jack and Ike Williams, those guys. Ike gets a profile Friday. But he more than held his own. You know, he was in some fight with some greats like Bo Jack, Chalky Wright. I know y'all heard of Chalky Wright, and Tippy Larkin. And he split 4 fights with the legendary Henry Armstrong, okay? And he won 3 out of 4 against Ike Williams. You know, the guy I'm gonna do the profile on Friday. That speaks volumes. Split 4 fights with the great legendary, one of the top 2 or 3 lightweights of all time. Okay, I would say a retired lightweight, Henry Armstrong, Roberto Duran. I can't think of any other lightweight to put up there with them 2. And Willie George split 2 out of 4 fights with Henry Armstrong and won 3 out of 4 against Ike Williams, right? That speaks volumes about his toughness and talent. And he had like 102 fights. He won 71, he lost 21, he had 10 draws, and he won 16 fights by knockout. Willie Joyce. And don't forget, I'm going to go over some of the fighters that won the most titles in the most divisions in a little while. Yep. I can't believe it's 3:15, and y'all know how long I've been on here. 10 minutes, right? Patrick Packy McFarlane. Uh-oh. I didn't mess with it. Slide display up. Yeah, Packy's on the left. Yeah, I thought I had. Patrick Packy McFarlane. Now, Packy McFarlane is a true boxing legend, right? He boasts an astonishing record of 70 wins, 5 draws, against just 1 loss, okay? 76 fights, 1 loss, 76 and 1. Never had a title, though. He beat the big names of his era like Mike Gibbons, Owen Moran, not to mention world champions Jack Britton and Tommy Kilbane and Freddie Welch. But guess what? When they fought him, they were non-title fights. That's how they did the good ones like that. They wouldn't put the title on the line against him. Yeah. Then I got a couple of murderers road fighters. Remember the murderers road fight group from the 40s like Holman Williams, Charles Burley, those guys. Sugar Ray Robinson himself ducked Charles Burley. Okay? Everybody smashing on the appreciation button. Support the grind. Melon the Queen 27 has been reminding you. Okay? Next is Homer Williams. He's one of the murderous road fighters. Homer Williams. That's Holman on the right. Holman Williams. One of the greats of the legendary murderous road group. Williams was famously cited by genius trainer Eddie Futch as a fighter so gifted. Now, I know y'all heard of Eddie Futch, right? Eddie Futch said about Homer Williams, he would rather watch Homer Williams shadow box than watch many other fighters actually fight, okay? He would rather watch this man shadow box. That's how nice he was. And Homer Williams beat greats like Archie Moore, beat the Mongoose, Burt Lytell, Charles Burley, Coco Kid, Lord Marshall, Kid Gennaro and Jack Chase. And Charles Burley, Burt Lytell, Coco Kid, Jack Chase are all Lord Marshall. They are all other murderous road fighters because these guys couldn't get people to fight them. They had to fight each other just to get fights. Okay. It was 8 of them. Only 2 of them had world championships, and one of them lost the championship to the other one. I think Jack Chase. One of the murderous road guys lost his title to Jack Chase. Yeah. And Eddie Booker. Homer Williams, Burt Lytell, Charles Burley, Lord Marshall, Coco Kid, Eddie Booker. There was 2 more that I'm missing. But yeah. And Homer Williams won 146 fights during his career. He lost 31. He had 11 draws, 36 knockouts. You won't hear, when I'm back in that era, you won't hear no O's. Those guys didn't care about O's. They wanted to fight the best, okay? Everybody had losses, They fought sometimes 2 and 3 times a month. Jake LaMotta fought Sugar Ray twice in 3 weeks, remember? And after the second fight, 3 weeks later, he fought somebody else 2 weeks after that, okay? So he fought 3 times in about a month and a half, okay? Those guys wanted to smoke. Coco Kid, another murderous road fighter. There's Coco. Hope your eyes ain't bad as mine. Got to squint a little bit. Coco Kid, right? Real name was Herbert Lewis Hardwick. He was an incredibly prolific battler, retiring with a career record of 178 wins, 58 losses, and 11 draws. And tragically, he never received a title shot, okay, at either welterweight or middleweight. But he did not win over such top fighters as Johnny Jadick, Peter Jackson, Jack Chase, Eddie Booker, the great Chalky Wright, and Holman Williams, but never got a title shot. He fought greats, but when the champions, like he's another one, when the champions got in the ring with him, they classified it as a non-title fight, okay? And Holman, I told you his record, 179, 58, 11 draws, 48 knockouts. Lou Tendler, running down. We're gonna get to this, talk about Manny and Oscar and some of the guys with the most titles, okay? Lou Tendler never had a title shot. There's Lou. Now, Lou Tendler, if he had competed at any other era in boxing history, he would no doubt have been a world champion. As it was, Lou had the misfortune of competing during the absolute golden age for the 135-pound class, right? That era probably was better than, you think 135 is stacked now. Okay, he fought when they had Benny Leonard, the Ghetto Wizard, the Toy Bulldog, Mickey Williams. Those guys are that lightweight. Okay? Rocky Kansas, Johnny Dundee, Pinky Mitchell, Frankie Callahan, Jimmy Duffy, and Richie Mitchell. That's the lightweight class he fought in. That's why he never got a title. Lou Tendler. Not only did he win a title, he never fought for it. But he had 59 wins, 11 losses, 2 draws, 38 knockouts. Next is the great Charlie Burley. He was ducked by Sugar Ray Robinson himself. There's Charlie. Now, him and the Coco Kid was both murderers rolling. They are very similar. I thought they was the same person, but they're different. Not the same guy. You know? Me and Miss Cass was looking at it this morning, and we was trying to distinguish one from the other. And they were in. I wonder if they ever fought each other. That would have been an interesting fight. But Charles Burley, now he was considered to be the best of the Murderers Row fighters. Okay, and he couldn't get a break or a chance at the middleweight title. He really had to fight the rest of the Murderers Row guys because nobody would fight this guy. Not even the great Sugar Ray Robinson would fight him. Okay, never got a chance at a title shot. But everybody knew how great he was, right? Had an 83-12 record with 2 draws, and he defeated top shelf warriors such as Holman Williams, Jimmy Fritzy Zivit, Jack Chase, Bill Smith, Jackie Burke, Archie Moore, Burt Lytell. Him and the Coco Kid did fight. Wow, I bet that was an interesting fight with those two in there against each other, man. These are 2 different people. That's him. That's Charlie Burley. That's the Coco Kid. Not the same guy. I promise you, it's not. Look at him. That's the Coco Kid. It's not the same guy. I thought it was, but it's not. I looked up both of them. Looked at each of the pictures about 5 times. And you couldn't tell me that wasn't the same person, but it's not. And then I had to put Teofilo Stevenson to finish out the list. Teofilo Stevenson. There's Teofilo. Yeah. Never turned professional. Had a dazzling amateur career. Teofilo Stevenson is considered by some to be the greatest heavyweight boxer who never became a professional world champion. And he never fought for the title, and that was because he never turned professional. Okay, but he had a very decorated amateur career. He is one of only 3 fighters in history to win 3 Olympic gold medals. Okay, and Teofilo had 302 amateur fights. Won 302 amateur fights. Okay, won back-to-back Olympics. Now, he came close to turning professional in the 70s. They wanted him to fight Ali, but he never did. Now, early 70s, I would have had Ali beaten him, but late 70s, I would have to go with Teofilo. I just would, you know. Ali got beat by Leon Spinks in the late 70s, so you know damn well he wasn't beating no Teofilo Stevenson. But early 70s, he probably would have. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's look at this list of hope everybody enjoyed that. Tomorrow, the Boxing in the State series continues with boxing in Georgia. Now let's look at this list of fighters who have the most titles, most weight divisions. Okay, let me get that going for you real quick. I had it, but then I went and looked at a couple records and messed it up. But we'll get back to it. As everybody this hump day, don't we have Pro Box tonight? It's so hard to pull Pro Box up, man. It's like pulling teeth or something. Pulling your own teeth. Pulling Pro Box up is crazy, man. Wow. Yeah. What happens, everybody? Cash Sports, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Bear with me for a minute. I'm going to get it. I had it written down. Don't leave. You stuck with me all this time. Give me 40 more minutes. Just 40 more minutes. Okay, here we go. Let's see, we got Virgil back in there this weekend. Virgil Ortiz. You know, since he came back off of that sickness, He hasn't been out of the first round yet, but you know, still got faith in him. He got a tough test this weekend, though. Yes, he does. But I think Virgil will get it done. Turkey Alley Sheep wants Virgil and Bud. You know, he seems to think he can make like he can click his fingers and everybody just gonna run over there to him. Everybody ain't Mauricio. Everybody gonna kiss your butt, Turkey. This ain't Saudi Arabia. Okay. But anyway, now Manny Pacquiao has the most division titles in history. Now, other boxers on this list will include Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Sugar Ray Leonard, and Thomas the Hitman Hearns. These boxers have at least 5 division titles. Let's look at it. Let's talk about it. Okay, we got like 35 minutes. Then the voice gonna take over these JBT waves. Now, being a champion in a division in boxing is already an impressive accomplishment. Now, still, certain fighters defied boxing odds to claim more championships in a different weight class. And this feat has given birth to pound-for-pound champions. Now, these pound-for-pound fighters have found success because they masterfully carry the same speed, power, and skill set to any division they would like to compete in, right? And this move up in weight has made these iconic boxers household names in the online betting line. And here are the top 5 boxers with the most division titles, okay? Of course, Manny Pacquiao has 8 division titles. Yep. Jared Hurd is on the next Pro Box. Oh, the 21st? That's the next. It's none this week, James? No wonder I couldn't find one for tonight. There isn't one. Okay, James. That's a good reason why I couldn't find one, isn't it? Okay. Thank you, James. No Pro Box tonight. Okay. Everybody hit that like button. I mean, the warriors and everybody. Even the people that's just watching. Hit the like, please. Appreciation button in the JBT. But Manny Pacquiao has 8 division titles, okay? Now, he finished his career 62 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws. He started as a flyweight, okay? And he won his first title in December 1998. He knocked out, I'm not even going to say that name, Chetchai Sasakuki. That's not his name, okay? Okay, I'll do this. I'll write it for you. In here. This is who Manny won his first title from. Y'all pronounce it for yourself. Chatchai. This is that flyweight. Sasakuel. Capital SKS. Okay. That's who Manny won his first title from. That guy, okay? In 1998. Knocked him out in the 8th round. In 2001, he beat Ledwaba, 6th round TKO, for his second title, IBF Super Bantamweight belt, okay? Then he beat 2 Mexican legends, Marco Antonio Barrera, 11th round TKO, and Juan Manuel Marquez, split decision in 2003 and 2008, to win his 3rd and 4th titles, featherweight and super featherweight. Now, I don't think he ever beat Juan Marquez. Juan made sure with that last time, laid Manny out. Then, he didn't stop. He moved up to 135 and 140, where he dominated former champions David Diaz, 9th round TKO in 2008, and Ricky Hatton, 2nd round TKO in 2009. He tied Oscar. Oscar had 6 at that time. That's when Manny got 6, okay? Then he passed Oscar. He moved up to welterweight, challenged Miguel Cotto for his title. And he stopped Miguel in his 11th round. That was number 7 for Manny. Then he got number 8 over Antonio Margarito, right? And that was what was that, junior middleweight? That was his 8th division. Okay. Yeah, Miguel was welterweight. Yeah. junior middleweight. That was 8 divisions for Manny. Next, Oscar De La Hoya had 6. Okay, Oscar he was 39-6 in his career, right? And he was the record holder for the most titles in different weight classes before Manny. Okay, and Oscar began to collect his belts in the lower weight class. His first title was in 1994 at super featherweight. He beat Jimmy Bredahl. Okay, and then in the same year. Okay, I forgot what year I said already, but that same year he became a 2-division champion. Beat Jorge Paez, 1994, right? This was in July. Got the lightweight title. His third title came. He beat Julio Cesar Chavez. That was at light junior welterweight, 140. His fourth title, Pernell Whitaker, at welterweight, got a unanimous decision over Sweepy. Okay? Then he moved up another weight class. He beat Javier Castillejo, junior middleweight. Okay? And then Oscar went to middleweight and got his 6th and final title. He beat Felix Stern. Okay? 6 divisions for Oscar. Floyd has 5. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has 5. Mr. 50-0. Okay? Now, considered one of the best boxers of all time. One of the main factors of this claim is his pound-for-pound resume, which consists of 5 different titles in 5 different weight classes. Okay? Now, Floyd's first title came at super featherweight. De Niro Hernandez, remember that one? Stopped him in the 8th round. That was in 1998, Floyd's first title. And he dominated the division for 4 years before he moved up. Then he defeated Jose Castillo in 2002. He got the lightweight belt. Then he got him in the rematch because they had all that flack about Castillo beat him and all that stuff. So Floyd rematched him, remember? Yeah, Joe, I didn't even try it. And I got mine in. I didn't even try it, Joe. That's why I put it in the chat, man. Yeah. Okay. So Floyd, where was he at? His second one? Yeah, Jose Luis Castillo was the second one in 2002. He stayed there for 3 years. Then he went to junior welterweight. Arturo Gatti. Remember that one? He just demolished in Arturo. Remember, that was 2002. Okay? Then Floyd moved up to, he fought Zab Judah and Oscar in 2006 and 2007. That was his 4th and 5th. Zab was at welterweight and Oscar was at super welterweight, remember? That was his last one was Oscar. Sugar Ray Leonard has 5, okay? That was before Pacquiao, Oscar, and Floyd. And Sugar Ray was the first boxer to earn over $100 million in his career. Now Canelo and all of them doing that in one fight now, but Sugar Ray was the first one he had an accumulation of fights to get there. But he was the first one to get there, Sugar Ray, right? Ended up 36-3, 1 draw. He was, Floyd was the second. Manny, Oscar, and Floyd, they were all second 5-division champions. But Sugar Ray did it first, right? Sugar Ray won titles from welterweight all the way to light heavyweight between 1979 and 1988. First was welterweight when he stopped Wilfredo Benitez. Okay? He had 2 successful title defenses, right? Lost to the ring, got it back. Then he went to super welterweight. Stopped Ayub Kalule, super welterweight championship, okay? Second division he conquered. Third title came over Hagler, middleweight. I don't think he really got that one. Okay. Donnie Lalonde was at super middleweight. Joe said something about that one. That was 4th. And then his 5th one was also Donnie Lalonde at light heavyweight. Okay. So he beat the same man at what was it, super middleweight and light heavyweight, Donnie Lalonde. Yeah. And then the Hitman. Yeah, the Hitman. The Hitman also had 5. Thomas. Okay. You're gonna have a little link time after this. Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Jared Hurd. Oh, okay. Yeah, I read that. Okay. Thomas Hearns also had 5 divisions, okay? And he was doing it at the same time as Sugar Ray was doing his. Him and Sugar Ray were simultaneous. But Sugar Ray got there first. Okay. Man, I'm stuck on 19 likes. But it's all good. Okay. Now, simultaneous to Sugar Ray Leonard's rise as boxing's pound-for-pound titleist is the equally impressive run of Thomas the Hitman Hearns. And Hearns had 77 fights. He won 61, lost 5, had 1 draw. He got his first championship over Pepino Cuevas in 1980 at welterweight, okay? That's when he had, I think, WBA. Sugar Ray had WBC. Sugar Ray took that one from him, remember? But then Hearns went to super welterweight after that. And he beat Wilfred Benitez, pick up his second title. That was 1982. Then the Hitman went after his third one, right? Super middleweight. Went to middleweight, lost to Hagler. Then he went to super middleweight, right? Middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight. Well, he won in all 3 of those divisions, but he lost his title to Hagler. Middleweight was Dennis Andres. Super middleweight was Ron Domingo Rodan. And heavyweight was James the Heat Kitchen. That was a good fight. That's when he put his name in the record books for his 5 titles. And he held him throughout his professional career. So Manny has 8. We review. Manny has 8. Oscar has 6. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has 5. Sugar Ray Leonard has 5. Thomas the Hitman Hearns has 5, okay? And tomorrow will be, I'm gonna put the link in. Tomorrow will be boxing in the States, and it's Georgia. And Georgia has a pretty good boxing history. Savannah, Georgia was a pretty good boxing town at one time. And they got this thing called the Augusta Boxing Club down there. They help our disadvantaged youth with boxing and other sports and other things. And we're going to talk about all those and some other aspects of history of boxing in Georgia, some other significant events that happened in boxing in Georgia. And we're going to talk about some boxers from Georgia. You know, every Thursday is boxing in the States. I'm going through the alphabet, looking at boxing in every state in the United States. Alphabetical order, we're up to Georgia. Every Thursday is tomorrow. And Monday is the punch of the week. I thought we had done them all, but Al Booker told me the other day the gazelle punch. So that's going to be Monday, the gazelle punch. Because I did the hook, the jab, the cross, the uppercut, combination, bolo punch, corkscrew punch. Al Booker said the gazelle punch. So that's what I'm going to do this week. Monday, the gazelle punch. And don't miss Ike Williams Friday. That's a pretty good one. Because the Mafia had their hooks in it, but Ike wouldn't buckle under to him, and they kind of held his career up. It's a very good profile. Don't miss it Friday. Friday is always a profile on a former boxer. I get a lot of views on them. Seems like the punch of the week show and the profile show on Friday is where I get my most views from. I got 900 views on the jab show. Yes, I did. People seem to really like those. Yep, the punch of the week shows. And the profile. Yep. But I appreciate everybody rocking with me. I got some regulars that's here every day, and I really appreciate them. And yeah, boxing history over here. And we get kind of technical on Mondays when we do those punch of the week. Those are like hardcore shows, you know. Casuals run some shows, but we get down into the nuts and bolts of boxing, you know. And I've talked about trainers and promotional companies and referees and judges, sanctioning bodies, or everything, you know, because you know when you see the people in the ring, that's just the end result. It's a lot more goes into boxing than just two people throwing hands at each other. That's the part we like the most, but I cover everything, because it's important. Anything you love, the more you know about it, it makes it better when you're watching it, right? So yeah. I'm gonna start this link over because I'm running my mouth. This link is for anybody that wants to come up and chop it up. Tell me how much you like this show, what I'm doing, or tell me how much you hate what I'm doing. I ain't gonna, if you say you hate it, I'm not gonna cry until after 4 o'clock when I go off. I ain't gonna cry in front of y'all. But this is for anybody. If I can get it in there, god damn, guys. I don't know where Thomas Hill at today. He usually come up and help me finish the show off every day. He might be listening. You out there, Thomas Hill? Cat Sports to Thomas Hill pickup. Oh, goddamn. Excuse my language. Don't leave. Might have a new person that want to come up here. This is for everybody. Okay? All you gotta do is hit that link. Open door policy. Like I said, come up and give me my flowers, or tell me this show ain't shit and you hate it. Whatever. I don't care. Just come on up and chop it up with me. We got about 15 minutes. And there it is. Somebody, anybody. There's the link. But I really hope everybody enjoyed the show today. I'm just trying to be a little different, because there's enough shows talking about who's beefing on Twitter and what they wore to the ring and all that kind of stuff. I just try to be a little different, man. There goes Thomas Hill right there. What's up, Thomas Hill? Oh yeah, Al Booker's in here too. We never got a report on wait a minute, man. Shit. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, excuse my language. Sorry. How much time we got? 15 minutes. I'm sorry. That's not something ain't right. Something ain't right. Oh no, it's right. Damn, what am I doing? Okay. I knew it was right. What's up, T Hill?
Excellent show.
I appreciate it, T Hill. How you doing today?
Trying to take it easy.
It's a little under the weather yesterday, wasn't you? Better today?
Yeah, I feel
that's good.
better today. I wasn't feeling so good past couple of days, man. And, like 2 nights ago after work, I was out there chunking liquid, dog, and it was just pure liquid. I don't know what was going on, so
yeah,
just resting and recuperating. But lovely topic, man. I mean, there are times where people don't get the breaks that other folks get.
That's true.
Sam Langford didn't get the breaks that other folks get.
Not
a lot of people don't even want to get in the ring with him. Nope. But then you factor that within Murderers Row.
Yeah.
And man, there's a lot of people in that sect alone, in that crew alone, that should have won titles that didn't get the opportunity to win the title.
Yeah, they had to fight each other, remember?
Yeah. And they would put on hell of a fight for one another.
Yeah.
But never got a chance to put on a fight with a champion.
Nope.
So a lot of politics come into play, man. But
and then a lot of champions would fight the good fighters, but they wouldn't put the belt. They were designated as a non-title fight.
Exactly.
They wasn't putting their belt up against certain people. They just wasn't doing it.
Yeah. I know my man Al Booger up in the house. I was hoping that he might click this link, man. He had sent me some dialogue about his experience and his take on the fight, man. Yeah. Something that he need to tell the people, man. It was a great event, but you know, he gave a nice little breakdown about every situation, every circumstance that took place.
He said he's gonna hit us tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
that'll work. Okay, Al Booger. Yeah. Yeah. But did I miss anybody? You think of any other great ones that didn't get the title shot? Some of my name, I know I didn't get everybody. I just tried to get the main ones. A couple of them I did not know. I thought Batiste, Lucas, I thought he had a title, man, but no, he didn't.
But he was a tough boy, though. He was a tough cat in that ring, man.
90% knockout rate, T Hill. He could get you up out of there. Lucas could, man.
Yeah. It was hella just different than most people that people got in the ring with. So it was hard to deal with him.
And Razor Ruddock, I didn't even know that he never even was in a title fight, man. Never was in one.
I thought he was in the fight with Tyson.
I think he fought him twice, but I don't know if the title was on the line. It might have been in there when he had 2 Tyson fights with Mike, but I don't know if Mike had the title at that point, you know. Because a little while in the 90s, remember Holyfield had took it, and Mike didn't have the title, remember? When he first came out of prison. I'm going to have to recheck on that. He might have, one of those had to have been a title fight, but he didn't win it. I know that. I'm pretty sure. I know
he didn't. He didn't win it.
No.
They had some brutal fights, though, man.
Yeah. Yes,
honestly,
they did.
Honestly, man, the beating that both of them took in them fights, man.
Yeah, those were brutal, man. Yeah. They were tough. I mean, Razor was a tough guy, man. Yeah, Razor Ruddock. Yes, he was. Joe said Holyfield ducked him. Ducked Razor.
That's what Joe said?
Yeah.
That's not like Holyfield.
No. I know they never fought, though.
They didn't. So, I mean,
era, you know.
He may have some validity to what he said. I just know Holyfield didn't run from anything.
No.
Like I said, he got in the ring when the doctors told him not to.
Yeah.
Fought Riddick Bowe twice.
He was smallish against them heavyweights. He was really a cruiserweight, man, you know?
Yeah, that dude was something else, though, man. Yeah. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man.
Remember that one, T-Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Foreman an anomaly, man, because, you know, he was great at the beginning. And then, you know, he had that fight with Muhammad Ali, and I think he lost a lot in that ring that night.
Yeah.
I think he lost his will to fight. And, you know, he went a different route, but then he came back when most people retired, and he went and kicked tail then, too.
And you know what's weird about that, T-Hill?
What's that?
I saw both Foremans, and it was like 2 completely different people. The 70s George Foreman, and the one came back in the late 80s and 90s. It wasn't even like the same. He had a whole different personality. Because the 70s Foreman was mean. He was a bad interview and all. But then when he came back, he was just like smiling and joking all the time. And I'm like, is this the same?
Yeah, he found himself away from the ring.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was crazy. It was weird, man.
Yeah. And then he saw an opportunity where, you know, hey, I still can come in here and I can compete with these people.
Yeah, won a championship.
Man, I mean, to beat him, you had to be able to take a punch.
Yes.
Holyfield took some hell of a punches in that fight with Foreman, but he took like that dude. Holyfield, man. Yeah. Holyfield, like, I'm a big James Toney fight fan as well too.
Yeah.
And Holyfield, when he fought Holyfield, man, I felt bad because I never seen anybody do Holyfield that dirty before.
Who is that?
James Toney.
Tony. Okay, yeah, I remember that one. What's up, Jeff, dude?
I couldn't even celebrate for Tony because I still had much more like
Holyfield. Okay.
Yeah, I had more ties to Holyfield because I felt like Holyfield was the epitome of what you want in a fighter. It don't
Right.
matter how the thing looks stacked against me.
Yeah.
I'm going in. It's almost like his style was with that. If you remember when Ali went to go fight Foreman, how
Right.
everybody was afraid and was like scared he was about to get hurt badly.
Yeah, I know I
And he
was.
had that speech, man, like, man, why y'all looking scared? I'm the one that's about to go out there and fight.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
You know, that speech was how Holyfield fought. And man, it resonates with me, man, because hell, I used to have to go against my bigger brothers and my friends' bigger brothers, man, and they ain't pulling no punches. They tried to hurt us just because, you know, they could. And, you know, we had it in us.
Oh, go ahead, Theo.
I was just going to say, we had it in us that we was going to bust them down, even though it was against us.
Yeah. Now, you know, Holyfield, the thing with him, man, he had a game plan, but once he got hit, the game plan out the window, Holyfield
it go out the window real quick.
He was stand there and go down after that, man. Yeah. Yeah. He stood there and fought Foreman, man. They was he took, like you say, he took some punishment in that fight, man. But he stood in there.
Anytime you fight Foreman, like I don't know who hits harder in boxing history. I know they say Shavers was a bad boy, and he hit like a brick. Like, but man, I know I seen some taps that look like taps from Foreman drop, man. They just dropped that punch that got Michael Moore out of there.
Oh yeah.
Michael Moore had the glass eye, looked like he barely touched him. But he had the glossy eye. You know, he hit him hard enough to put him out like that.
And he was losing. I think George was losing on all the cards at that point, wasn't he? It was almost.
He was down in that fight.
That was late in the fight too, right? I think.
They round 10.
Yeah, of 12.
They round 10, something like that. But and what he did to Frazier, like Frazier ain't never looked that bad in the ring.
I know.
Man, he had Frazier over there doing a Y2C in the ring.
Looked like he bounced up off the mat one time and started running.
So yeah, man, you know, it's amazing what George Foreman was able to do coming back to the ring at 42 years old, man. Absolutely amazing. That's why when people say like these cats they old and whatever the case may be, it's true of most folks, but some folks are just that special.
Okay, here's what Joe was saying about Holyfield Duck Razor. He said Holyfield took on a 42-year-old Larry Holmes when Razor was the #1 contender. Okay. Then Lewis got rid of Razor 4 months later. Yeah, Razor did fight Lennox. Right. Lennox kind of like dominated him too. Yeah.
You know, Lennox Lewis, I did not like. I was not a very big fan of Lennox Lewis, but as a boxer, that dude, man, he was on top of his dish.
We never got him and Riddick Bowe, man. You know, when they had that thing in the Olympics and they started out in the pros, both doing good. We just knew they was on a collision course, but we never got that fight, man. Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe. You know?
Yeah, I would have loved to see that fight.
Yeah. And then after Lennox Lewis retired, Riddick Bowe started calling him out. Riddick Bowe told Lennox Lewis, "I'll fight you for your gold medal." And Lennox Lewis said, "I thought we already did that. I already beat you for that." Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. And it was a bad look on him because you could have fought him when you had a chance.
He was the
when you guys was both active. Yeah.
He was. I mean, Lennox was his mandatory, right?
Yeah.
Both threw the belt in the trash. Held their press conference. Remember?
Your boy Lennox made the best decision of his life when he picked up your boy as his new trainer.
Oh yeah, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
That's
Emmanuel
developed
I know some things about Emmanuel that, you know, give me reservation, but the one thing about that man, he knew his boxing.
Yeah.
He knew his boxing.
Because Lennox didn't have that legendary jab. He had it, but he wasn't using it before.
Yeah, he taught him how to use it.
And he brought that power out of the hitman too, because they say Hearns was a light hitting boxer. The power had to be there, but Emmanuel brought it out of him, gave the technique or whatever, you know? Yeah. He was a legendary trainer, Emmanuel was, man. Ran that Kronk gym.
Yeah. Something else.
Everybody
he
used to
definitely,
do that.
you know, it was some tough fighters came out that Crunk Gym.
Yes, it was. The McCrories. Didn't the Meldrick Taylor, did he come out of there? Sure, I know that Stephen Milt McCrory did, and there was a couple of other ones. A lot of good ones came from that Crunk, yeah. Tony used to go there and spar. He said you walk in there, some new guy, they would holler out new meat, and they would just line up to fight you. I seen him and Hearns on some show a couple of weeks ago. It was old. It was him, Hearns, Zab. What's the other guy who became a trainer? Buddy McGirt, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about Georgia tomorrow.
Yeah. Gerald McClellan came out of there. Obakar came out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Meldrick Taylor did come out of there. I'm not.
The McCoy brothers, Steve and Milt, didn't they come out of there?
Yeah. I think Mark Breland came out of there as well too.
Meldrick might have visited because a lot of guys visited, like Julio Cesar Chavez went through there. Hector Camacho went through. They wasn't from Crunk, but a lot of fighters went there to spar, hone their game and stuff. So they had some good.
Oh yeah, they did the sparring sessions up in that gym.
Yeah,
they could be Hall of Fame.
I'm serious, man.
They could be Hall of Fame, man.
Nobody came out talking and bragging about them in them days.
I'm gonna tell you,
stayed in there,
I'm gonna try to for your interview, your first interview. I'm gonna try to get my man Daryl McKinney to come on. He out of the Crunk Gym.
You told me about him before, right? Okay.
Yeah. Good brother, but he just lost his mom, so he's still suffering from the pain of losing his mama and whatnot. But that man, him and his brother, they trained up in the Crunk Gym too.
How did you come to know him, T.O.?
Huh?
How did you come to know him? To meet
Honestly, man, it was for some odd reason. I don't know what it is, man. But people gravitate to me. Okay. I was in the chat. I wasn't trying much at first. I just was listening. Okay. And then one day somebody said something that was asinine, man, and I just couldn't help myself, and I commented. And ever since then, like I would comment. I'm always giving people love, no matter what. Right. And but I'm also like, I give my take, and my take ain't never wrapped on like the fact that I rock with somebody or like that. It's just what I see as the truth. And Daryl McKinney was in Fanon's chat one day, and he was just like, yo, he saw me in another chat, and he saw me in another chat. I think it was the last one where he finally said something to me was in Just Do chat, and he was like, bro, I really, if you don't mind, man, shoot me a number, man. I want to talk to you about something. And that's how it started. That's how I came to know him. Like, that picture that you see up there on the thing, that's a picture that's signed by Tommy Hearns.
Okay.
Yeah. He got all kinds of memorabilia because him and Tommy, that's Tommy's brother-in-law. He's married to Tommy Hearns' sister.
Yeah. What's up, Miss Joette? How you doing today?
Yeah, Miss Joette. Miss Pleasing, thank you. Yeah. Got the Melanin Queen, 27. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She said, even though.
Yeah, you can put us together, whenever. But he said he just lost his mom, so whenever.
Yeah. He said he would do it. It's just, I gotta. Matter of fact, I need to give him a call.
Yeah.
Now I probably should give him a call after, before I get into Just Chat, but see how he's doing. But it's kind of hard to tell somebody when they're not feeling well, right, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and they're going through something that it's gonna be all right. They should be doing better. You look good because you don't know what they're going through.
Right.
And all you gotta do is just give them their space and their time. And I just be trying to tell them like, hey, yo, you know what? Things do happen for a reason. But you know what? You take your time with things to get yourself to the point where you need to be.
It
But
takes
know
people
that, you know,
the times to get over stuff like that. Some people just like that, ready to move on, but then other people, it takes more time.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, no doubt. And
Yeah,
I'm never gonna tell somebody how to grieve.
that's right.
I
That's
can't
right.
tell somebody. I don't have that. I don't have that right to tell somebody how to grieve,
No,
how they should grieve, how long they should grieve.
no.
I don't believe
Only
that.
that
That
person knows that. Barbara D, what's up, Barbara D? How are you
Barbara,
today?
Yay!
Building all the
Yeah,
queens up there.
yeah, Barbara D. She know.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know,
we gotta get ready to. What else you got for today, T Hill? We gotta get ready to get on over here.
man. You know, I just come up here, man, because
Yeah.
you always giving us some good stuff to chew on, man. And I just want to let you know,
Hey, yo,
fabulous show. You've been doing your job, man. Ain't nobody over here not feeling what you do. We all
Mhm.
respect and appreciate the
Yeah,
craft that you put in.
right. I appreciate the people that comes in here, man. All good, respectable people, and we have a good time. 2 to 4. Just do gonna be talking about Canelo's message to Turkey Alley. We don't want to miss that one.
We don't want to miss that at all. So, with that being said, all my good peoples in the chat, much love and respect, good health and prosperity. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself and love others around you.
That's right. You get what you give. You want
Amen to that.
to give it.
The Professor Al Booger. All righty, my man. We look forward to hearing from you tomorrow.
Yep. I'm going to definitely drop it. Al Booger been up before, one time before.
Yeah, Al Booger the man. Al Booger is the man.
Oh, yeah. Good guy, man. Good brother there, Al Booger.
Oh, yeah, and everybody get ready for next July, man. It's supposed to be a meet and greet out in Jamaica. Everything aighty, man. Yeah, that's what we trying to do. Because Remo gonna be out that way.
Maybe them pennies then.
Yeah.
July?
Yeah. July of next year, yes, sir.
Okay. Maybe
and the Booger man gonna come.
Can't you get group rates on flights and stuff like that?
Well, Remo said he got somebody that does the travel planning, so maybe we'll get that all taken care of in one fell swoop.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
And you got a whole year to get ready for it.
No doubt. So we can probably start doing some fun.
We got another round
and things like that.
Gonna be a laptop or something like that.
That's good. Like I say, man, with the connections that we do have too.
Yeah.
Maybe some. It would be difficult, but like some gear from like some of the people that sponsor the show, like how they got the headphones for from what's his name? What's the young brother's name?
I know you're talking about. He be in the Rise, don't he?
Then he be in the Rise, and then they got the young amateur that just turned pro not too long ago. Demar No Slip Filson, he got artwork. Right. So we could get some original pieces and auction them off with
we'll get it together.
We got some things. We got some things.
Bring up Saturday, T Hill, in the meet.
Yeah. All right then. So let's go on and get ready, because in 2 minutes my man gonna be coming live.
All right, T Hill. Appreciate you.
All right.
I'm glad you're feeling better, bro.
Man, got to. Can't feel bad, man. Can't feel bad.
Okay.
All right then.
Appreciate you. That was Thomas Hill. And we get ready to put this cast sports in the history books. Another one. But we got another one coming up tomorrow. Boxing in the States. Because if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian, bringing you all that boxing history. Barbara D, Miss Joette, Just Do Boxing, James Brady, Lonnie Lee, #JBT, Al Booger, Mike Rim, Mrs. Just Do, Melanin Queen 27, Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz, and more. Joe, Let's Talk Fashion, #JBT, Mike Mazik, Trump, Miss Cass, #JBT, and appreciate Thomas Hill for always coming up on the panel, helping me out here. And everybody have a great day. Just Do Boxing is straight ahead. This is Cash Sports. Have a good one. I'm out. Judah Vision, how are you, bro? Good to see you again. Everybody have a great day.